Alright, so the axe just fell. The decision has been made. Donald J. Trump is going to become the next US president.
Camel is never gonna beat me in November. Donna's gonna make the country better than you can remember. Camel is never gonna beat me in November. Hey, Margarita.
And if you're a foreigner with plans of moving to America in the future, or maybe you are even an undocumented immigrant, this might feel like a setback.
I'm sorry. No.
But there's always some hope in even the toughest of situations, and this is not an exception. So don't panic yet. Of course, there are things to be scared of and to worry about, but wait a while. In this video, I'm basically going to explain some of Trump's policies with respect to immigration, how it affects you, and I'll also highlight a few ways foreigners can still make it into America to pursue the future they want. So whether you're a student, a skilled worker, or someone who just wants a fresh life in America, this video is for you. But before we get too far, we need to understand Trump's seriousness. This man has not come to play. And to understand this, we need to visit his immigration policies back when he was first in office. And back then, immigration was at the center of his campaign, and he made some serious promises by prioritizing Americans and securing the border.
We have immigration laws that are laughed at by everybody. It's like we have no border. We're going to be doing things militarily until we can have a wall and proper security. We're going to be guarding our border with the military.
And if you had forgotten, allow me to remind you of some of the big things he did during his first term to combat illegal immigration. The first one was building the border wall. Trump's administration built a 460-mile long border wall to make it much harder for immigrants to just walk into the country. Another thing he did was to put bans on countries he saw as safety risks to America. So that wasn't just talk. Entire regions were affected massively. And one other thing I need to remind you of is, during his term in office, this man and his administration deported over 200,000 undocumented immigrants. However, most of the people who were targeted in this mass deportation had criminal cases. Last but not the least, and what is considered one of the most heartbreaking things he did, was to put limits on legal immigration. So even if you wanted to go through the proper process to get a green card and become a citizen of America, he made the process much harder. He also cancelled family-based visas, making it very hard for people to reunite with their families. So now that we are done with that, what are Trump's plans for non-Americans in 2025? Let's start with undocumented immigrants.
As a guy who spent 34 years deporting illegal aliens, I got a message to the millions of illegal aliens that Joe Biden's releasing our country in violation of federal law. You better start packing now. Because you're going home. Because you're going home.
That is Tom Homan, former director of the ICE, or the Immigration and Customs Enforcement. For those of you who don't know, he was one of the architects behind some of Trump's strict border policies, like separating children from their parents at the border as a deterrent to keep people from coming to the country illegally. So this guy is also pretty serious about keeping non-Americans out of their country. So with all this considered, this is going to be a very challenging time for undocumented people in America. Trump and Tom are promising the biggest deportation effort in history.
And they do come from prisons and mental institutions, and they are terrorists. And we're going to be paying a price, and it'll be the largest deportation in the history of our country.
And while they might face hurdles from Congress, this team is not new to this, and they will find ways to navigate that challenge. And as I mentioned earlier, during Trump's first term in office, they deported about 267,000 people from the country, and about 86% of them had criminal records. Last time, people without criminal records weren't really high on their priority list. But let's be clear, nobody is safe. The administration has set its sight on reducing the undocumented population as a whole. Now let's talk about those who want to move to America legally. If that is you, there's a way forward, but it's going to be much more selective than it is now. Trump's administration will continue to limit family-based visas, but prioritize highly skilled workers to fill critical positions in the US job market. If you are in tech or in engineering, you may have an upper hand. Fields like cybersecurity, AI, software development, data analysis, analysis, renewable energy and infrastructure development are high priority areas where the US still has skill gaps. So if you're a student in Africa or wherever you might be in the world, you could still have a strong case for a US visa. So the conclusion is things are about to get much more difficult for people trying to move to America. It's going to be much more complicated. And for you to stand a higher chance of getting into the country, you need to plan strategically to make yourself essential enough to be accepted into the country. You should also keep your documentation solid, making sure that whether you're applying for a visa or adjusting your status, you should make sure every document is in order. And if the US route becomes too challenging, there are always other countries like the UK and Canada who are also looking for skilled people to come and work in their country. So keeping your options open can give you more opportunity. So as you can see, Trump's return to office brings some serious challenges. And this is why I need to leave this country. Well, if you found the video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and also let me know in the comments what your take on the new policies are. How are you preparing to face these challenges? Let's connect, learn, and support each other on how to navigate this new reality. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you another time. Bye.